Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be continuing reading our entire Bible throughout the Action Bible. So today we're going to be continuing our story with David. This one is going to be called Assassinations. This is based on 2 Samuel verse 3:22 through chapter 5 of verse 5. So it says, after giving his support to King David, Abner goes to rally the elders of Israel. But Abner is scarcely out of the city when Joab turns. Abner just left. David had a big feast for him. Abner was here, and David let him go? Angrily, Joab rushes to see David. Don't you know that Abner came here as a spy to find out your strength, and he killed my brother, your own nephew? David refuses to listen, and in a rage, Joab storms out. David may have made his peace with you, but I never will. So, Joab has, great amount of vengeance in his heart towards Abner since he had killed his brother. So instead of letting God take care of things, and as we often do, and there's, a lot of people that can be angry towards God or very angry towards people, but they never let things go. They never have that same forgiveness for others that Jesus had for us. I mean, you got to think. You think God made us to do all which we do now? All the corruption, all the evil that's in this world? No. He never made this. We all go against his word and against him each and every day. But he still forgives us. Jesus was whipped, he was beaten, he was spit on. He was crucified. Even his cousin John was murdered. All of Jesus's followers were murdered. All the 12 disciples. I think it was Stephen that had been murdered by Apostle Paul and all. And he doesn't act in anger. He doesn't say we're all doomed to go to hell, even though we deserve it. If he really wanted to be hatred towards us, he wouldn't ever give us an option to be able to go to heaven. But he has that forgiveness for us. He has that forgiveness for all them people. He has forgiveness for all of us. And we should too. Vengeance still is God's. And he will still act out on punishment and vengeance, just as your parents do when you do something wrong. But that is his and his alone. And it's not ours to take. And we should forgive those that are around us and those that wronged us, just as Jesus has done. So, Joab is furious. This could mean trouble. He wouldn't dare defy the king. Fearful that Abner will take his place as David's general and wanting revenge for his brother, Joab sends a fake message from David asking Abner to come back to the Hebron when Abner enters the city. Welcome, Abner. David had one last thing he wanted me to tell you. Will you step over here and we can talk private? Of course, Joab. Joab leads Abner to a back street, and there, before Abner can suspect what is going on, Joab stabs him. David is angry when he finds out Joab had murdered Abner. He is afraid that people will think he ordered the murder, so he calls on the people together and accuses Joab. I am an innocent of Abner's blood. May God punish Joab as he sees fit. David wants to show his strong disapproval for what Joab has done. He forces Joab to mourn in Abner's funeral procession, but even as king, David is not secure enough in his new kingdom to punish Joab, because Joab is leader of David's army and his nephew. But David mourns the death of Abner. But Abner's master, King Ishbosheth, quakes with fright. What horrible news! Without Abner, how can I hold the throne? King Ishbosheth's fears are well grounded, for even as he receives the news of Abner's death, 2 of his own army officers are asking the same question. Now that Abner is dead, what's to stop David from defeating our army and killing Ishbosheth? Yes, we're fighting for the losing side, but what if we do David a favor? The 2 men murder their own king. Now, just as that man before had said that he had murdered Saul when he really didn't. And David didn't take, that was his own king, and he murdered him. He thought he was going to get glory for it, and he didn't. And, they were afraid, and they thought, okay, if we kill our king, David will praise us. So, they kill their own king, then they report to David, hoping to be rewarded. Will people never learn? The Lord does not reward those who commit murder. There is no room in my kingdom for traitors. Guards take them away and execute them. Though saddened by another assassination, David now has no rivals for the throne of Israel. Representatives of the 12 tribes meet to anoint him. He's now been anointed by both God and man. So David, at the age of 30, is finally crowned king of all Israel. And they say, Hail, King David of Israel. Praise God. See, so, it took all the way till David turned 30 for God's promise to actually fully had gone through. God promised him to be king. And, so many people pray for things and they ask for things and they think things are guaranteed there, and they expect them to happen right away. Like if I pray for this tomorrow, I'm going to wake up next week, I'm going to wake up. Some of these things may not happen for 10, 12, 15 years. They might take 5 years. They might take 3. Nothing is promised at a guaranteed time, just like we're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised to live to 30. We're not promised to live to 60 or 70, 80. We're not promised to live to 5 or anything like that. God's promise to you or his reward for you is not guaranteed tomorrow. It's not guaranteed in 5 years, And that's one of the greatest things to have come into that is patience. Patience with God is very important. If you have that patience, when it is time to be rewarded, it'll be well worth the wait, trust me. Excuse me. But, so have patience and trust God, and all is going to be good. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys tomorrow. As always, take it easy and God bless.